Hello, welcome everybody to the Undisputed Podcast. For me and my co-host Jeff go over two matches, each WWE pay-per-view, starting with 1997. We are on to 1998 No Way Out, our second match. This is Kane versus Vader. It's the match right before Kane and The Undertaker go at it at WrestleMania. So kind of building up Kane here to be a monster. That's basically what this match is for. It also is to write Vader off of television for a little while before he gets his last little storyline before he leaves the company. Um, Vader's out first, and Kane's out next. Vader tries to jump Kane with the right hand, but Kane blocks Vader's right hand with some right hands of his own. And then he clotheslines Vader. They go to the outside and they start just brawling on the outside. Um, Vader ends up being hung up on the ring apron, and Kane drops a punch off the ring apron onto the floor. Um, Kane slams Vader's head into the steel steps twice. They go back into the ring. Vader starts punching Kane in the back of the head and then clotheslines Kane out of the ring. Um, Vader sends Kane into the steel post. The Vader rolls back into the ring and Kane hangs Vader on the top rope. And then Kane hits a flying clothesline off the top rope. I've always loved when Kane did this move. Kane's a very athletic big man. Even though his matches, like this one, towards the beginning of his career were really slow to kind of build on like his dead gimmick. Kane is extremely athletic and very good in the ring and very safe worker, and that's part of what's led a lot of people to love Kane for who he is. Kane starts more right hands to Vader in the corner, and then Kane hits a suplex on Vader. Big boy to suplex. Elbow drop by Kane, and then it starts headbutting Vader. Kane starts torquing the neck of Vader on the ground where he's like grabbing the head. He's like looking like he's trying to break the neck. He's just like torquing it on the ground there. That doesn't last very long though, not like the normal headlock sequence where everything slows down. So Kane with a running clothesline into the corner. Then he body slams Vader. Now Vader ends up getting back up and clotheslines Kane over the top rope. That's the second time this has happened. Keep that in mind. Now back in the ring, Kane DDTs Vader, and then Vader hits some wild punches out of the corner to get out of the corner. And then Vader with a running splash to Kane in the turnbuckle. And then Kane grabs him by the throat. And then Vader just low blows Kane right in front of the referee. Referee's just like, nothing. Then he knocks Kane down. And then he does like a splash. And then he goes up top where what looks like is going to be a Vader bomb. But instead he goes one step further up and hits a giant moonsault off the top rope. And Kane immediately sits up. Just a monster. Now Vader clotheslines Kane over the top rope for about the 65th time in this match. And while they're on the outside, Kane whips Vader into the steel steps, but while Vader's right there laying by the ring apron, he finds a fire extinguisher and sprays it into the face of Kane, temporarily blinding Kane. And then Vader rolls back into the ring and hits a power bomb on Kane, and then hits Paul Bearer, but Kane sits up again, and then Kane chokeslams Vader, and then hits the tombstone on Vader for the win. The only pinfall in this match ends up being the 1-2-3 to get Kane the victory. Kane wins. He shoots fire out of the turnbuckles. When Kane gets out of the ring, he sees the fire extinguisher used to spray him in the face, and it looks like it triggers like some early PTSD, and it pisses him off, and he chucks the fire extinguisher. So he grabs this like mega giant wrench, and he gets in the ring and just smokes Vader in the head. This writes Vader off television for a while and just makes Kane out to be this giant sadistic monster that he is. So this match, I'm gonna give it. It's hard. The most of this match is just punching, honestly. There were a couple cool spots in it. It's really hard for me to give this a rating because I don't want to go too low it's just because Kane's so awesome. And there were some cool matches, but literally this match is just punches the entire time. It's just punch, clothesline over the top rope, and then until Kane hit a choke slam and a tombstone. That's pretty much all it was. So it did advance. It did write Vader off television. It did advance Kane's monster storyline. 4.5 out of 10, just a hair below average, just because of the storytelling and the fact that Kane's a badass. But the match itself was just literally just punches the entire time. So we'll see what Jeff gets it. We're going on to WrestleMania next. We got the first match we're doing is the New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, and a dumpster match for the WWE Tag Team titles. We'll hope to see you guys there. We'll see what Jeff thinks about this match.